Today we are here at the small channel of the Skudai River. Our objective is to study the quality of water, compare it to the River Melana, and see if there are differences, and also to study pollutants in the water, and also to discuss about ways to mitigate or eliminate the water pollution sources. And from there we can enhance or improve the quality of the water.
As you can see, actually this is space for water collection, but there is no any waste being collected here. In fact, the waste is being thrown in the river, like in a very saddest way. The little crab have been damaged for almost 2 years, but the authorities never noticed this and replaced by new one.
We can see from there is a fisherman who fish from this river that we has just seen being polluted by the garbage. And of course, if the fisherman is fishing the fish from here, that means it will be consumed by the man. So this is the actual condition in this river.
We have to take some certain measures from where the river originates. We have to provide some screens there so that these little things cannot enter into the river. So we have to include some mitigation measures like some government legislation. Seriously, we have to impose fines on the people who dispose some toxic materials into the river.
It goes all the way down here. After this, we will go here to collect a sample from the main channel.
So now we are at the main channel of Sungai Skudai. As part of our video project, we are planning to study the parameters between the small channel of Sungai Skudai, Sungai Melana, and the main channel.
We can see clearly how many trash are floating on top of the river, and you can see there is like white layer on top of the river, which we assume like oil release or discharge from nearby factory.
Although the river might be being polluted by the oil of the industrial waste, but we can see from this ecosystem, for the ecology, we have in this river a low-lying lands that might be able to absorb the rising tide from the river. From this angle, we can see the long-lying lands. So if the tide from the river is coming high from the rain, from the storm, it still can absorb the flood.
The mitigation measures must include at the point source, like from where it is, it's emitted into the river. We have to stop it there. And some, as we observed, like there are some mangrove trees here. So it's a common measure. We can mitigate the rivers from entering the pollution into the river, as it controls that sediment and erosion of the soil. We can, put the fine screens at the entrance point so that this trash or litter compounds get trapped there, so that they cannot enter into the main channel of the water.
Actually, 2 years ago, the condition of the river gone viral on Facebook because there is white bubbles appeared on the cloudy river. And only after that, the authorities take action, doing some investigation, do some improvement. So I think if the condition of the river is not going viral almost 2 years ago, the condition will be the same, because we also cannot obtain attention from the authorities.
However, unfortunately, we have faced a problem where I am not able to collect the water sample as the water is too far out into the channel. So we can see here that the water is on that side and we have no means to travel towards the river. And there are signs where the water is used to be able to come to this side. Sampling would have been easier if the water tide was here, but unfortunately, we are not able to do so.
So we are in the Melana River, and as you can see, it is raining right now. And because of the raining, the upstream from the small river coming down to the Melana River. However, from the small stream, we can see that it's being polluted by the garbage in here. So we can just assume that this garbage will produce leachate water from the garbage that, of course, will be polluting the Melana River.
The drainage here is the spillaway, the waste came from the residential area like directly to the river. This is we call as point source pollution, which is different from another two river before.
Not only government legislation will solve this kind of problems, also public participation is a solution. And to waste management, generally, individual responsibility, not to litter plastic and even properly manage waste will eventually reduce the cost of water treatment as well.
We found polyurethane can here. Polyurethane is a plastic based material that commonly people use for home furnishing, or maybe we can assume that this comes from nearby industry. And to spill inside the drain here, you can see there is marks of spillage from the tank into the drain that will finally lead to the river. This is not good and can be a source of pollution too.
Now, I would like to briefly explain the findings of our result. Before I begin, there are a few considerations that need to be taken into account. Firstly, we are only able to get our hands on the high rain COD region solution. It is more suitable to do the COD calculation if we have a low range region. Next, the results of the BOD are obtained after 3 days of aeration, whereas common practice would be to take the results 5 days after aeration. This is because we are under a time constraint and we would like to get the results as quick as we can. The most notable parameters that can be mentioned is the pH and the TSS. The pH for Sungai Skudai and Sungai Melana are both at a range of 8.2 to 8.5. This means that it is more alkaline and not at a neutral pH of 7.0. Another parameter, which is the total suspended solid, for Sungai Skudai is 40 mg per liter, whereas for Sungai Melana is 80 mg per liter. This means that there are twice the amount of total suspended solids in Sungai Melana compared to Sungai Skudai. Another assumption that we can see is that we can place Sungai Skudai and Sungai Melana both in class 3 of the water quality index based on our findings. However, our findings are not as accurate as it can be. Therefore, it is just a reflection of the results that we get from the group.